Hey,
Hey,
Shane.
hey. Are we live right now?
We are live, and
Hey, guys. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome to Dark Society Paranormal Podcast. I'm your host. I am Shane. This is the wonderful producer Gwen, and man, I'm excited. I'm excited for tonight, man, because this guy, he's very intriguing, and some of the stuff that he has done and helped with is like really commendable, and I'm really looking forward to everybody getting to know this guy.
But
But
he's having a
anyway,
couple technical difficulties. I'm
that's
gonna
fine.
mute me. I'm gonna mute myself and call him. Okay. So you do
Okay.
your thing. Okay.
All right. Yeah, guys, listen, tonight when you guys get on, this guy that I have, we've been friends for a while, and I found out so much about him, and I started doing a little bit more research about him, and just, I mean, guys, this guy has literally helped law enforcement find missing children, and this isn't something like he got in his vehicle and did like this. Like, he's got abilities to where he can locate things, and I think that's so intriguing, because this is a paranormal podcast, so I want people to come on with abilities and gifts and stuff like that. I have a lineup of some really great people that are coming on. I don't know if you guys are on our page or subscribe to All Access, but guys, we have got some shows coming up in 2025 that are going to be unreal, that are going to be so good. So if you guys have not checked in, join the page, Facebook page, or got on the YouTube and join or subscribe to the YouTube, join All Access, man, because you will not be disappointed. We've got a little bit of everything. I mean, we've got things from serial killers to gardening. I mean, I don't know another network that will do something like that, but we do, and it's fantastic. So we have a little bit of everything for everybody. Is he still having difficulties?
Yeah, he's having to do it on his phone, and he's having a little.
Uh oh.
Yeah, that's okay. He'll
Yep.
get here.
Yeah. So who's that?
Well, let's see. We have Shane and Gwen, and then we have we have Sean looking on. Hey, Sean, and then we have
Sean.
Haunted Syndicate. That's Blaine. Hey, Blaine.
Hey, what's up, Blaine? What's up, buddy? Thank you guys for coming on. Thank you guys for coming on. Yet, as soon as we get this guest on,
I think I'm here.
Hey,
everybody, this is Randy Mabry right here. This is who I was speaking to. How are you doing tonight, sir?
Hey, guys.
How are you doing tonight?
I don't know if you can you hear us?
I'm sorry, I can't hear y'all.
You can't hear us? Are you muted?
No, he's not muted.
Oh no.
I've got my phone volume turned all the way up and I can't hear y'all.
Hold on, let me mute him and undo it. Sorry, guys, we're having a little technical difficulty on here. Randy, can you hear me at all? Mm-mm. All right, can you ask Angie to call him and tell him to go out and come back in?
I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell y'all. I thought my camera on my computer would work.
he's got to check the settings right here at the bottom where it says mic and stuff like that. That's all got to be on too.
Yeah. Let me try to call him again.
Yeah.
I said Friday out here.
Yeah.
Can you get Angie to call him?
Yeah, she just messaged him. She just messaged him right off.
Thank you. All right. Well, yeah, we have a lot coming up in 2025 and more to come. We have 2 more shows tonight and 1 more Wednesday, and we might have a little something special for Christmas. You never know.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, are you guys even ready for Christmas?
No.
You
Um,
know, it's so strange, because you know when I was a kid, I used to look so forward to Christmas and stuff like that. And to be honest with you, like ever since my grandparents passed away,
mhm.
it's never been the same with family wise, Christmas, anything. It's just it's like another day, except for being, the birth of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I really look to that, even though, you know, we don't know for sure if that's the accurate date that
Yeah.
he was born, but that's what we recognize as the birth of Jesus. So, but other than that, the stress behind, going shopping, doing all this kind of stuff. I mean, it gets ridiculous this time of year.
It does. We were out today and it was getting crowded. Oh,
Yeah.
let's see if he's coming back. Let's see if we can get him.
It's never been the same.
Yeah, I'm
Can
sure
you
y'all
hear
can hear me.
me?
I still can't hear y'all. I don't know
You
what's
can't hear
going on. I'm sorry.
us? Read your messages if you can see me. Can you read your messages?
How can he not hear us? I don't get that.
Tried to do it on my computer and my computer just doesn't, the mic doesn't work.
Mm. Oh, just a minute.
Mm. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Usually we don't have glitching like that, but sometimes we have a Grinch that likes to get on there and mess with stuff, kind of glitch everything, or I don't know what's going on with his mic here. Because I use my phone and the microphone on here, it's just a stand, I don't ever have to adjust anything. It just kind of works.
All right, we're working on
Just
it.
can't hear y'all.
I'm gonna try to call him, so give me.
Okay. I'm sorry, guys. We'll get on in just a minute. We'll get on. So anybody that's watching right now, what do you guys have going on for Christmas this year? What do you got? What are you guys doing? Are you going out of town, or are you staying in? Are you having a small Christmas, or are you one of those ones that that have like a big family and have a big Christmas and everything? I don't.
We do a teen mood Christmas.
Yeah, we do. We do like literally like me and my wife, and sometimes, but we do ours on Christmas Eve. We don't
Emu has great
like.
hits.
Yeah, and guys, if you guys haven't shopped Timu, I mean, man, look here, look, like I couldn't believe some of the stuff, and like huh?
We can hear him well. Well, Randy, we can hear you good. um, he's going
I,
back out
I
and coming back in.
I just
Yeah.
don't understand why. What?
It's the glitchy Grinch.
Yeah, it's a glitchy Grinch or something. I don't know. But remind him of that button on the bottom down here where it says mic, and then also where it says more. Also, check his sound and microphone thing on there because it could be all the way down.
That's it to us one time too.
Yeah, you kind of have to. You kind of. That's why. Like I like to come on. I like to come on just a little bit before, so I can get everything lined in. It's crazy, man. Mm. Yeah, we're trying, guys. We're trying. We're trying to get them back on. Golly, dude, we're already 16 minutes in. Oh man.
Shane, I got him, but I'm trying to do something.
I don't know. We may have to reschedule. We may have to.
Yeah, we may have to just
We may have to reschedule it. It's up.
Does he need me to come in?
Which is fine. I mean, it's just I can't get him like next week because I have the next 3 or 4 weeks booked already.
Yeah, he's trying. He's having gremlins. So
yeah, I've seen it happen before. I mean, yeah, it's happened to us before.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, but I know a lot of times when I check.
Shane, Lee is going to pop on for a minute, just so you have somebody on with us.
All right.
To help out. And you guys, I see you guys. We're trying to work on it. We've got Sean.
Hey Sean, what's up, buddy? I appreciate you guys being on, just being patient with us. Yeah. Aaron, what's up, buddy?
We've got Aaron.
Derek, what's up, buddy? What's happening? What are you guys doing for Christmas this year? What all are you guys doing? Are you guys hey,
how are you?
All right.
Yourself,
I know we're having some gremlins or something in there that's messing with the microphones or something. I don't know what's going on. But how are you, Miss Lee?
Doing good. I just talked to Gwen. She's talking to him now. There could be something in the speaker selection on his phone, and he might need to restart his phone.
Yeah,
try.
We had that issue one time, but that's why I usually try to get on about 10, 15 minutes before, so just so I can make sure everything's, on, because like sometimes the phone volume right here could be all the way up and like I won't be able to hear you guys or whatever, I mean, I don't know what it is about this.
Sometimes it's the browser.
Yep.
That's what this thing says. So.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So how are you? You ready for Christmas?
As ready as we are gonna get.
Yep.
I
Here
believe.
it is.
Yeah, this is actually our first Christmas, in 16 years, 17 years without Dylan at home. This is our first Christmas. It's just her and I and the animals.
Oh my gosh.
Can you read out some of the comments?
So
yeah, I'll tell you some of the comments. It's par for the course is what Haunted Syndicate's saying. And a lot of other people are saying, Sean is saying maybe setting on his phone.
Yeah.
And this happens. And I will hop on if you need me to. Yeah, Sean, why don't you do that?
Yeah, Sean, you can hop on. You can hop on. Yeah, hop on.
I'll
Come
bring
on
you in while our friend here is struggling. But I do think it might be something to do with his browser.
So
Yeah.
Okay, so Gwen is sending Sean the invite.
Okay. All right. Awesome. So are you guys ready? You guys ready for Christmas?
Pretty much. Our son Elijah and his wife Charlotte are coming for Christmas Day. He's got to work Christmas Eve, so I'm trying to put the dinner together, and I won't be able to see my daughter and her family. They're doing something different this year. So we'll do something New Year's or something like that. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, it's going to be great seeing them and being able to sit down and spend time with them. Charlotte's birthday, my daughter-in-law's birthday, was a couple of days ago, and we went to dinner. But out at a restaurant, and it's noisy and all of that. It'll be nice to be here. We'll have dressing and gravy and.
Oh man. See, that's one thing we don't do because there's only Angie and I. We don't do anything like we don't cook a big meal or nothing like that, Sometimes, she's got to work Christmas Eve too.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we were talking about doing a Christmas Eve show. Why don't you come join us?
Okay. Yeah, we do. We usually do
Christmas Eve.
I got you. Well, we usually do our Christmas, as a family on Christmas Eve. But yeah, I mean, depending on what time it is, I'd love to jump on. I'm sorry, guys, but I get
Well, here's
captured.
Sean. Oh,
What's
sorry,
up,
Gwen.
buddy?
Sorry, Gwen. I was hitting the button and she
Hey.
was hitting the button. Sean to the rescue.
Sean Ellis,
Hey,
what's
brother.
up, buddy? How are you?
You want to come over here?
I'm doing fine. How are you guys?
All right, man. All right.
I'm gonna hop off. I'm gonna let you guys do your thing.
Okay.
Merry Christmas, Happy
Merry
New
Christmas
Year.
to you
I've
too,
got
Mama
loads
Lee.
of things for my show. Those of you watching, please don't forget at 8:00. So after this show,
Yep.
stay for serial killers, supernatural, and murderers. We're doing
That's a good
it.
show, guys. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but that's a good show.
Well, it's
Really.
going to be really intense with Tom Gormley being a profiler. We're doing the study on Ed Gein, and I'm working on the disclosure right now because we might break the internet tonight because
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yes.
That's where the story of that came around was Ed
yes,
Gein.
you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
we might have a case also that I need to talk to you about.
Okay.
So let's just hop back together soon, okay?
All right. Definitely.
Merry
Angie
Christmas,
said she
Happy
loves
New
you too.
Year. Oh, I love Angie. You know I do. Good to see you, Sean. Thank you for
Mhm.
coming on.
All
Have a
right.
good one, guys.
Yeah, Sean. Listen, man. I wish it would having difficulties with him because this guy's got abilities. This guy's got abilities to where he's actually helped law enforcement find missing children.
Thank you, sis.
Yeah, that's cool.
All right. Thank you, Sean. We are
that's
just having gremlins, and thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, man. It's always a good time with him, man.
Yeah, that's actually a good thing, when you got abilities like that to be able to help people like that.
Yeah. And he said one time he was like on a video call or something like that with somebody, and this person had been missing their glasses, just their reading glasses or something like that, and they couldn't find them anywhere. And when they said that, he saw where they were and told them, and they went right to that spot and found the glasses. So
That's cool.
it's intriguing, man. And I mean, if you talk to him, he's like an old Georgia boy. He's like an old Georgia. So I mean, you never know who God gives these gifts to, because it's like that's phenomenal. And I mean, to be able to find missing children too, even with me doing residential cases and stuff like that, I've always wanted to go to some cold cases and go to areas and stuff like that and use my spirit box and see if I can connect and talk and stuff like that to see if I could help with something like that.
That'd be awesome the next time we get down your way to try that.
I just think it's intriguing, that just to be able to do that. But the problem is that people aren't going to take that as serious. What you tell them, what comes through, they have to take with a grain of salt.
Right.
There's no fact or 100% truth unless they find concrete evidence on what you say.
Right.
But I would still like to help though.
Yeah, no doubt. We were tracking down a cold case on our old team before, and we went to a residence to talk to the mother. And I don't think she took us quite serious at first. And we decided we were going to leave, and we were standing out by the car. And I just got this feeling that her older daughter next to her wasn't going to be around much longer. And come to find out about a week later, she passed away.
Really? You had that feeling?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah. See, I've talked about it on here. I get premonitions and visions, and I wish I didn't get them. They're always something bad that's going to happen, but it's necessary. It actually happened in dialysis one day where I was sitting in the chair in dialysis, and the nurse came by with the blood bin, and she tripped, and the blood bin knocked over and went to my neighbor's chair, went underneath the neighbor's chair. And the second it went underneath his chair, I started having a vision, and it happened so sporadically that I mean, it's just, and I told, because I thought it was something had to do with the nurse, and I'm said, listen, I know you guys gonna think I'm crazy, but please be careful, because I couldn't describe it, because it looked like there were two tubes like this, and all I saw was blood going up and down in the tubes like this over and over, and then it just went away, and then my vision went away. So I was like, man, I hope something. The guy sitting next to me, he was deaf. He couldn't hear nothing. He went home that night. And he fell asleep, and he died in his sleep, and they found blood in his lungs. So that vision that I saw was the blood going up and down in his lungs.
Yeah. You need to embrace that gift instead of.
I don't know how to. I don't know how. It comes out of nowhere. Like I can be in the middle of anywhere. It's happened on the highway. It's happened on 95. It happened to my wife. You know, with her. It happened with my mom. Like I never know when that's going to happen. I don't know how to embrace it. Because I don't know. It just happens.
Yeah. After I met my grandma, after she passed away, I started getting visions like that all the time. And then in 94, I take it back, 1994, that year, I started getting them more and more because I got baptized for the second time at that point, and I started seeing all sorts of visions, and it freaked me out. And it got to the point it kind of scared me, and I just kind of pushed it away. And then finally, about 5 years ago, I just started embracing it and going with it. I mean,
like embracing, but I mean, well, what if you weren't like me, for instance? Like I can't help them. You know, I can't just push them back. I mean, they're so intense when they came on that I mean, it's like I blank. My ears start ringing. I get this deep sensation ringing in my ears, and everything goes blank. And I mean, I can see what's going on, but I'm not there. You know, it's like my eyes have flipped around, and I'm looking at a movie screen in the back of my mind or something.
Yeah, it does get intense. It definitely does get intense, and like I said, it got to a point at one time, like I said, back in 94 or a little after, like I said, I just had to push it away and walk away from everything, because the deeper I got with it, it just freaked me out, because I was seeing some massive visions. And I don't know if I told you about this one or not, but
tell me about it. I love stuff like this.
After I got baptized the second time, I actually seen myself standing in the desert, and it was in front of a huge door. It looked like a castle door, and that's all it was. It's just the frame of the castle door, and the door was in
the desert.
In the middle of the desert. Now you look up in the sky, and it was storming like all hell breaking loose. You'd see angels falling out of the sky, jets were screaming through the air, tanks were on the ground. Just it looked like something, and all of a sudden I just wake up, and I was like, okay, wait. Then all of a sudden, I'd doze again, or I'd go back. I'd pick up right back where I left off. Well, anyhow, that happened about 3 times, and on about the 4th time, it says the door started rattling, and I heard this voice in my head. It says, "Whatever you do, do not let anything come through there." I'm the only one standing there. Don't let nothing come through. And some friends of mine that were ministers at the time, or preachers, how do you want to say it? We got to looking around, and he says, "You were the type of person in the Bible that says you are a young man of dreams yet to come." So kind of like a pre-prophet, I guess you would somewhat call it. And he said, I actually witnessed a time slip, because every time I woke up, time never moved, but it seemed like in that dream, I was there for a couple hours watching all this take place. So, yeah,
see that. But I mean, when you came out of it, you know, were you like in like a shock?
It made me wonder what actually is going to be happening in the future, because
Yeah.
the way they explained it to me after we started digging into it, saying young men will dream dreams of yet to come.
Yep.
And I even seen one of my friends, he was at work, and the next morning he come to work, and I said, "Did you have a bad night last night?" And like you said, it's like seeing in the back of your head. Well, this was actually seeing through his eyes. And when he walked out the back door where he was working at, I described exactly where it was. And he says, "Where were you sitting?" I said, "You ain't going to believe this." But I said, went on with the story. And I actually seen a demon dog standing above the garage, and it asked him where his God was at the time.
Oh no.
And I told him about it, and he goes, "Man," he said, "I don't know how you knew that, but," he says, "I definitely had a bad night last night."
Mm.
And everything you described kind of happened.
That he could be going through spiritual warfare. That's something.
Yeah, that happened. That happened several years ago, and like I said, I seen it through his eyes. It wasn't my eyes; I seen it through his eyes.
Mm.
So I thought that was kind of unusual as well at the time.
Yeah, I had one. I had one when I was a teenager. I was in the car with my mother, and she lived in Myrtle Beach, and we were on the 4-lane highway next to the outlet malls, and we were at a stoplight, and we came to a stoplight. She came to a stop, and I remember her turning, and she's looking at me, and as soon as she looked at me, I started having a vision right there, and it made me freeze up, and as soon as I came out of it, the light turned green, and I just had this overwhelming feeling, and I said, "Mom, don't go, whatever you do not go." And she's like, "What are you talking about?" And we were in the left lane, and the car next to us went forward like this, and this 6-wheeled dually truck ran the light on that left hand turn and T-boned that car next to us and pushed them right into a concrete telephone pole and killed everybody in that car. And that would have been me and my mother.
Yeah, that's just like I said. It's an amazing gift to have when you have it.
I wouldn't know how to control it. I don't even know what you call it, Sean. I know it's like premonitions, visions, something like, but that's about as much as I know what to call that. Like, I don't know if it's clairaudient, clairvoyant. I don't know any of
Clair audio and clairvoyant, where you can see that. Because clair audio, you can hear things. Clairvoyant, you can see, and also, vision what's going on. Yeah. I've been also on investigations before. I've walked up to the client, and she's never told anybody that was there that night. And I said, "Does your son know he had a sister?" And her mouth just like, "What?" And I was like, "You had a miscarriage." And she started crying. She had a miscarriage about 8 years before he was born.
So did you say that you helped with a cold case? So you've done that before?
We've started digging into some before. And like I said, the client that we had at one time wasn't taking it very serious at the time. So we never did follow through with it. And then we started digging into some that got pretty deep. And how do I say this? You don't want to dig too deep because you don't want to bring it to your front door of what may be involved in it after you find out what's in depth with it and who's involved with it, because your safety and your team safety matters as well. And there's some things we've dug into that's gotten pretty darn deep, and we had to back out of it because,
I mean, wouldn't it be neat though? Wouldn't it be neat if your family or something knew about what you did, who you were, like investigations, and you have a good success rate in identifying, finding out, whatever entity is there, being able to help it cross, or you've got a good track record behind it, and they know that. And then, they have a case that has been in their department for 25, 30 years. And then he's like, what do I have to lose? I mean, I'd like to see what you could do with this and actually go to the spot where they like found the bodies or did something, or somebody turned up missing, and see if we could see if we can contact and we can get in touch. And man, if we could find names or something that actually came back. And I mean, I wish if anybody on here that's watching, if you know of any stories like this, or somebody that has worked with law enforcement like that, get in touch with me, because I really love to have you on the show, because that is intriguing to me, because I know a couple teams that do that, and I know I'm friends with a team that they are actual police officers and first responders. So they work both. They work detective work, they work paranormal investigative work, and they use a lot of what they use in the police forces and stuff like that to help find children, even using paranormal investigating methods.
Yeah.
Which I think it's phenomenal, because if you can get that and you can find something and you can seal a case, I mean, like that to me, that would be like a check mark in life, to where it's like, man, I was able to do that. I would love to be a part of it.
I know some police in this area don't really dig into paranormal teams very well around this area, so we don't have that opportunity like in other areas. But if it ever came up,
we don't either, really.
I would take my team and go. I would. I mean,
yeah, I don't think and I wish they would, because like, out of all the missing like person cases and stuff like that, like once they've tried all their avenues, why wouldn't they want to have someone come in and try this avenue? Because we might get something, we might get a name that they don't know about, that they can look into and they can find something about. I mean, like, what do they have to lose from it? That's what I'm trying to get.
Right. I know one thing. I don't know if I should say this or not, but I'll say it anyway. One of my new team members, we went to a place up in the Quad Cities, and not long ago they found a vehicle there, and she kind of thought it was theirs, her friend's, and he's been missing for a long time. And we went there to investigate, and we got pictures that came over our Ovilus and our phones, the SLS that would actually draw the picture. And it's kind of a new app, and some people think it's kind of hokey or not and stuff. But the fact is, we asked him to draw a picture, and he drew a picture, and we had it saved on our phone. And she looked up on his Facebook and found a picture almost similar to it that he drew on our phone.
Wow.
And and then come to find out here a few weeks later, we were right. It was him that they pulled out.
Oh, wow.
They pulled him out. And then not long after that, they pulled another vehicle out of there as well. And it's really weird on how it was, because, like I said, we were out there. And even the time we were out there, when me and Nikki were out there kind of doing a pre-investigation, because we were thinking about going back and following through with it a little bit until they actually come up with the name finally. And when we were out there, she said, look over on the other dock. And it was really strange that day, because the person that was missing, his girlfriend showed up on the dock sitting there the same day we were there.
You guys, I'm going to interrupt real quick. I think Randy may be able to come in with us. Let's try.
Okay.
All right. Thank you,
I
Sean,
hope
too.
y'all can hear me.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
I found something in my little Microsoft form that says if I disallow
Can you hear us?
it disallows it on all of them. So I found the right button to click.
So you can hear us?
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right, everybody, this is Randy
Yes.
Mabry right here. Hey, I know we're about 42 minutes in right now. I know we were having difficulties, but this is Sean Ellis right here. I don't know if you two have met before.
How you doing, sir?
Hello.
Yep. Randy, won't you tell us a little bit about yourself, man?
The crazy part or the psychic part?
Well, just about
It's
you
the
in
same
general.
thing.
It all ties in together.
Well, I pretty much I got into the psychic business out of traumatic event in my life in 2000. My wife and my dad died the same day, and I went to counseling, and the therapist was asking me questions, and the phone rang, and I said, "That's your son. He wrecked his motorcycle. He's all right. His left leg's going to need surgery, but he'll be fine." And I walked out of the room. When I came back in, she said, "How'd you know that?" I said, "How'd I know what?" I said, "I just blurted something out." She goes, "Yeah, well, I didn't know he had a motorcycle till today."
Mm.
So it started a long process. I just started meditating. She told me to get into meditation, and I just started asking questions. I went to the library. I talked to John Edwards. I talked to a few other people, and just started studying. And I've been doing it for about 22, 23 years.
I mean, how did you find out that you actually had that ability?
My mom told me I had it all my life. She kept a record of it. Before she died, she showed me a book of it, but I'd never really thought about it. I always thought this voice in my head was everybody had it, you know?
Mm. Yeah,
I
I don't know.
understand that.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard what we were saying, but I think it's intriguing that you have helped law enforcement with missing children. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Because that is so intriguing to me, and
Well,
I
I'll
would
tell you
love
what,
to.
now, Shane, I'll send you a copy of my book, right?
No, not a book. I got one of your bios.
Oh, okay. Anyway, I was at Abbeville, South Carolina, during a paranormal class investigation. The lady walked up to me and she said, "I need you to help me find this guy. He's been missing." And I had to go somewhere, take care of something else. When I came back, Patrick Welch asked me to come talk to this lady. I said, "Show me the picture again." And I said, "Do you know where his house is?" She said, "Yes." I said, "Show me where his house is on a map." And she said, "Okay." I said, "Now I want you to just go south." So she started scrolling on her phone south. I said, "He's right there." Right in he was a mentally challenged young man. He's 23, 24 years old. He'd been missing for about 6 months. I said, "He's right there." I said, "They'll find him in 3 days or 3 weeks, and then they'll be able to confirm it in 3 days or 3 weeks." I was dead on. The third day after I talked to her, they had found his body.
Mm.
Somebody's literally going to step over it. And you can see a boot print from one boot print to the other boot print when they stepped over his body.
So did they? I mean, what ended up happening to him?
He had. I think he was murdered. There was no visible signs of murder. Of course, the family never even thanked me for it. His friends did, but there was no sign of foul play, and so they just kind of left it alone. But I think he was murdered because he saw something he wasn't supposed to see.
That's crazy.
Wow.
That's crazy. And how far was it? Like where? Like from where he lived or where his family was? How far was
About
his body
17
away?
miles.
Huh?
About 17 miles.
Mm.
I have a lot of the missing children's cases I don't get involved with because I prefer the family to ask. And the other thing is, there's so much involved in that. You have to weed through so much.
Yeah.
If it's just something that's recent, I can give them an idea which direction they're going.
Mm.
But once they change directions a couple of times, I pretty much lose them.
Oh.
Unless I know that, now, if there's not a heartbeat, I can pretty much find them.
And
I'm 50% accurate on it, you know.
So you told me a story about some glasses. What was that about?
So what?
Some glasses.
Oh, one of our teammates on the paranormal team had lost his glasses, his prescription glasses, and they were. I kept saying, "Well, they're around where your dogs are." He said, "No, they're not." Yeah, they are. He went out there and looked the second time and said, "No, you're looking in the wrong place. Think like a dog, man. Look down." And he looked down. His glasses were right there on the floor.
Yeah, my wife wants to know if you know where her glasses are.
Somewhere to the left of the kitchen.
That would be where the couch is.
You can't see them because they're covered.
I don't think so. If they were, because we changed the couches that were in here and everything, and yeah, that's gonna be difficult. But we'll definitely check. If we find those glasses, man, I'm gonna be calling you for other stuff too.
Oh, let us know, please. That'll be awesome.
Mhm.
Remote viewing is not easy. It's something you really have to focus in on. I've seen things that I never thought I would see, and then sometimes when I try real hard, I can't do crap. So,
Well, what is it when you say remote viewing and stuff like that? You know, for somebody who's never heard that before, like, what do you experience with remote viewing, and how does that just come on into your way of thinking?
well, remote viewing is basically seeing a place or an event further away from you, out of your normal visual. It could be the next room. It could be 2 doors down. It could be halfway around the world. A lot of people, of course, the government's done a lot of testing on this, but when I see it, I see a visual. Someone says, "Hey, I'm going to put this object on this spot right here." I'll say, "I know where that spot is." So I focus on that spot, and I just, whatever comes into my head, sometimes it's crazy stuff.
Mm.
And I just repeat it. It's like a video in my head.
Mm. That's so. Go ahead, Sean.
I was going to say, I got a question. I'm kind of interested. If somebody ever gave you an object and you picked it up, are you able to see visions from that object and where it may be or where it's been?
That's psychometry. Yes. It's if you want to try psychometry, I invite anyone to go to an antique store, put your hands on something and see what you get.
Mhm.
It's not an uncommon skill.
So more people have that than what they recognize.
Shane, most people have psychic ability. They just don't they don't choose to acknowledge it, no, they don't choose to accept it, or they don't choose to trust it.
That I was about to say. I think that's probably the biggest thing, is because you don't want to say something and then turn around and look stupid saying it. You know, trying to make a fool out of yourself saying stuff to people.
Yeah.
But I definitely get it, but I think it's fascinating. Of course, I'm in ministry. Of course, I'm part of the Solomonic Order, and we look at psychic abilities and things like that. We call that in theology, we call that discernment. So, and I think there's a high level of discernment there, and I think that is a direct gift that God gives, and He gives some people a lot more discernment than other people. Like I was telling Sean, I get visions and premonitions, but they're always no good. They're always, something is about to happen to either somebody, and it has never been good. And I started getting them after my grandmother passed away, and I wish, honestly, I really wish I didn't get them.
Well, see,
but I do.
That's my story, because sometimes what I see, I don't want to see. And I'll be honest with you. After finding 2 dead bodies One of them was very gruesome. I still have nightmares of seeing that, and it's hard to get rid of.
Now, when you say that dead body, was that a vision that you had?
No, sir. I literally found the body.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm not going to say where because the family has to not to
Yeah,
disclose
yeah,
that.
of course.
But I will say this. Yeah, I was sick to my stomach for about an hour.
Wow.
Mhm.
Every now and then when I know something major's going to happen, I see a flash of that scene and I know something bad's about to happen. And I just like, no, I don't want to see this.
So
So, do you have? Go ahead.
I was going to say, now I have another interesting question. The fact you said when you found that body, did you see any visions from it at the time? From maybe something may have happened, or what may have occurred, why things happened?
What happened is a family member approached me. And then while I was driving away from meeting that family member, I literally saw the person sitting in my back seat of my car.
Mm.
And they were pointing. They weren't saying, I couldn't hear what they were saying. I could hear what they were thinking, but they were pointing. And I just drove up to the spot and I called the family member, said, call the police. She goes, why? I said, just call them. And I literally got out of the car. I walked through some brushy field and stuff like that. His car had been missing. They found his car and him in about 2 foot of mud. He had fallen asleep and it rained. And he had an epileptic seizure apparently and died in the car. And then when the flood hit, it just covered him up. That's why they couldn't find the car. I literally walked within a foot of his car.
So
And the
crazy.
cop thought I was nuts. I said, I'll tell you what, here's a $100 bill. If I'm wrong, I'll give you the $100 just for coming out here. So he went and got his shovel. About 20 minutes later, he hit something. And as soon as I knew they had found him, the guy said, how'd you know he was there? I said, I'm a psychic. And if it hadn't been for the family member standing there, I asked him where he was. He said, as soon as I found out something, I would let him know. And I did.
Now, with you being in that area that you are, being a Georgia boy like that, when you tell somebody that you're psychic, did they look at you like you're funny?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't need people to like me. That's something you have to get over real quick in this business.
Yeah.
They either like you or they don't like you. It really doesn't matter. Energy is energy.
Yep. That's but I think it's intriguing, man. I wish we had more time. I know we were having difficulties, but we got about 5 minutes left. But honestly, won't you tell everybody where they can get a hold of you and like what you have going on? I know that you're an independent, and I know we have put your contact information up, but tell everybody where they can find Mr.
The best
Randy.
place to find me is on Facebook. Southern Gentleman Psychic Randy Mabry. Find me on Facebook and I can get you in contact with whatever. Or you can look me up, Randy Mabry on Facebook. Either way, once you get in touch with me, I can get you all my information. I do have a website called Southern Gentleman Psychic, RandyMabry.com. Look me up there.
You guys, we got about 15 minutes.
Oh, we got about 15 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, about 10 before we start.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
cutting out.
Good. That's good. Are you part of a team? Are you a part of a team now?
I was part of a team, but
Yeah.
I help just about anybody that calls me. I help a lot of teams, kind of like Chip Coffey does.
Yeah.
They call me and they remote me in, and I've done some pretty fun stuff doing that.
So you could be anywhere. You could be anywhere.
Yeah. I'm a phone call away. I'm a video call away.
Oh wow, that's good. Yeah, that's convenient. Yeah. That's convenient. So you could help. Like if a team from, if a team from Illinois contacted you, or something like that, and they said, what do you feel about it? You can give them an honest assessment on what you see.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And guys, utilize that.
If you have met Mindy,
I have.
I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mindy will tell you I'm scary. She will tell you I'm scary. I like hunting with her. She is an awesome hunter.
Yeah, she
Oh.
is. I've done investigating with her. I've done some. We investigated in Savannah together. She's a wonderful person.
Yeah.
You know, she really she's got a heart of gold, and anybody that doesn't know Mindy, man, you're missing out, man, because she's a gem in this field. She really
She'll
is.
ask me. I'll be on the site. She'll say, "Okay, where's the bloodhound? Where are we going?" I like working with her.
So do you like working with teams, or do you find it better like when you work by yourself?
I have no set way. I just do what I do, no matter if I'm working with a team or not. I do the same thing. I'm just more conversable when I'm with a team.
Yeah.
But
And
I
I know
will say this: a team having a psychic with them, sometimes during your first walkthrough, your first impression, it hits you. But we have, and then I'll just follow them around,
All right.
and I'll say, "Go back over there," or "Go back over there." You know, but for the most part, then I'm just a regular hunting. You know, I'm just hunting that's like y'all are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've had it, where I went to a location, and I've told the psychic very little information, very little. And usually before I do my EMF sweep, I have them walk in and do their walk around first, and they get a feeling of what they have, and then I'll do my investigation, and then we'll share together what they have in comparison to what I have, and see how it lines up there. And it's always
pretty
worked.
awesome.
It's always worked.
It's pretty awesome. The less I know, the better off I am.
Yeah.
There is a episode on Fright Night on Fox News. It's called Fright Night. If somebody wants to go see what I actually do with the team. We were actually filmed at Jekyll Island, and we knocked it out of the park.
Mm.
It's the Jekyll Island episode of Fright Night on Fox.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, we'll have to check that out.
That was it was fun, and it was nonstop.
Well, what's the like if you had one, working that you had to work that comes to your head first, that affected you, or was troubling, what would that case would have been? What was your vision on that?
I'm not quite sure what you're asking.
No, I like what was like a situation that was really, really bad, that you were in, that you actually saw what was going on.
Believe it or not, I foresaw 9/11. I saw it 2 weeks before it happened. I had just gotten back from Australia, and I told my mom I saw two Goonie birds flying into two giant pillars.
Wow.
I saw one flying into a starship, the Pentagon, and I saw one like landing like a Goonie bird in the mud. I said, "Mom, I can tell you, a lot of people are going to die." I said, "A lot of people. It's going to shake the world." And the morning it happened, she came and woke me up because I worked overnight at a convenience store. She said, "Randy, we wrote this down." Mama wrote it down. And when she died, my wife at the time, and I tried to find that book, she put in her Bible, "Give this to Randy." And she said, "I destroyed it all for your sake." And I'm glad she did. My sister thinks I don't know what she thinks I am. I don't really care anymore. But she said, "Just don't bring that stuff into my house." I said, "Okay, then I won't come to your house." Fine with me.
Yeah, that's
9/11. I still get choked up talking about that.
Yeah, of course. That was a horrible time. I saw a guy that was doing prophetic ministries back in the late 70s, early 80s, and he prophesied even back then 9/11 that was going to happen. Um, he he uh, he prophesied David Koresh in the Waco out of Texas.
Yeah.
He prophesied that.
Yeah.
There were so many other things. I mean, even now, they just found another one that he did back in the 80s to where he said that Trump would be president.
I had somebody tell me 4 years ago, "Oh, they'll never let him be president again." I said, "Yeah, they will." And he's a cop. He said, "No, they're never. I said, "No, they're going to try to kill him a couple of times, but yeah, he'll be president again." And he reminded me of that a couple of days ago. He said, "You remember saying that?" I said, "No, I don't. I just sometimes I just blurt stuff out when I just react to it."
Yeah. Let me ask you guys this. You guys familiar with The Simpsons, right? I mean,
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
guys seen some of their predictions that they've
They're
had?
pretty scary.
Yep.
They are.
Yeah,
They,
they're
they
very
I mean, they literally are. I mean, I mean, to a point of describing the buildings and the people that were there. I mean, this is
Right.
like in the 90s, 2000s. I mean, like some people say that The Simpsons is like government made, something that the government had something to do with. Now, I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
I think, like I said, everybody has psychicism. Everybody has it. Somebody on that TV show is pretty daggum in tune, or knows a psychic that knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have seen movies here within the last few years. If you go back to Spider-Man: Homecoming, all the drones and what they can do with drones now, and now you see all these drones. So it's one of those things. If you watch certain movies, they're telling you what's going to happen.
Yeah, they are.
Anybody that wants to understand how I see things, watch the movie Avatar.
Oh yeah, I know that one too.
It's all metaphysical. Every bit of it's metaphysical.
Yep, you're right.
And if nobody understands how a psychic sees things, watch Avatar. You'll see how I see things.
Now, when you say that you see things like that, do you constantly see things, or are they more like on a vision state? Do you get a feeling? Does your body react to it? Like do you have symptoms of it?
Most of the time is an optical third eye and physical true eye. I can see auras. I don't like to see them too much because a lot of people got a lot of crap with them.
Yeah, they do.
See their junk. But plants, if I focused on a plant long enough, I could see what color its auras was. I can't see it just walking by. I can feel it. But most of mine is senses and third eye. When I'm actually doing a reading, I can't see. Like if I was doing a video reading for y'all, I would not be able to see the screen. It's a blue screen right in front of me, and everything's just like a video. I'm blinded this eye, deaf in this ear. So I can't see anything when I'm actually doing something high.
I think stuff like this is fascinating, and my goal my goal in this podcast has always been, it is a paranormal podcast. It is, but my goal has always been to bridge the gap between paranormal and clergy. Now, I say that because I know to this day that there are clergy out there that if you said the word psychic or you said clairvoyant or something like this, they categorize this in like a witchcraft realm, like dark magic or like devil worshiping, and that's the farthest thing. I have never met an in tune real psychic that did evil things. They always try to help people.
Well, as far as now I will say this, because of my anger of how I learned about this, I was on the dark. I started on the dark side because I
Mm,
didn't know any different. I thought everything was just all blended together. And my first mentor as a psychic was on the dark side, and I didn't realize it till someone pointed it out. And then I met some really good psychics, and they said, "Now this is the gray road you need to learn. There's good and there's evil." Well, I already
mm,
knew that. He said, but he's blended it to make you make you feel like it's all together. It's not.
mm.
So they're all bad intentions, and I won't put up with it.
You
If I
guys, we need to wrap it up because I got another show in about 5 minutes.
All right, I got you. Again, you guys look up Randy Mabry. You know, he's a fascinating guy, and I'm sorry we couldn't get on a little earlier. I know we were having complications. Sean, I really appreciate you coming on too. It's always a good time with you guys.
Yes, both of you guys
And,
come back.
yeah, and what I'll do with you, Randy, is I want to have you on to talk more in depth about some of this stuff. So I'll get you back on, and we'll do another show together. But I'll
now
get
that
a
I know
whole
how to fix this thing.
yeah yeah
Yeah.
we'll get together and do it. We'll get together again. But
Okay, guys, I'm gonna take you down, and Shane's gonna talk us out. Okay.
all right, guys. All right, see you guys.
Thank you. All right, take us out, man.
Hey, thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for coming and just being here with us. You know, I know it was a different kind of night. We were having some technical difficulties, but Randy is a fascinating guy. And I don't know, I'm from South Carolina and he's from Georgia. So anybody that if you know anything about this area around here, when you say psychic or something like that, people tend to look at you like you're crazy. But what fascinates me about him is that he has helped law enforcement, find missing children. Guys, that's a true gift. You can't stop or fake that. I mean, that's you're helping for the greater good. And if you know anybody with a gift like that and they want to come on the show and talk about it, I would love to have them on the show. Guys, listen, thank you so much for coming and being with us tonight. And stay tuned for next week. I got a phenomenal guest next Monday, and you guys aren't going to want to miss it. But
All right, y'all have a good night.
you guys have a good night, okay? Be blessed always, and peace.